Welcome to today's solo episode on the Dare to Rest podcast. Oh my God. Life is lifing today. If you are normally in the Dare to Rest world, you will see this version of me who's happy, joyous, expansive, curious, like so thirsty for life. And I absolutely love that version of myself. But today is a different day. And the whole purpose of this completely unprepared, I don't have an agenda or anything podcast really serves as a permission slip for myself, but hopefully also for you to embrace all sides of who it is that we also are. Because I guess that you, like me, have a, I want to call it like a primary identity where, like, this is who I know myself to be most of the time. And for me, it's that joyous, happy woman who's just like so excited for life, believing in miracles, anything can happen. Like, what is this life? You know, that vibe, like waking up in the morning, being like, oh, today's another good day. Anything can happen today. And I know that sometimes when people meet me, they're like, why and are you faking it? And I'm not. I'm not. It's just it's who I've grown myself to be. And that's why on a day like this, on a really, I don't even want to call it a hard day, it's just a day. It's a freaking day where I feel like nothing is working. Nothing matters. I don't matter. My voice doesn't matter. My dreams will never come true. You know, one of those days where you just feel blah. And those days, man, it's on those days we really get to practice who we also are. Because the easiest thing in life truly is just to say, this is a bad day. I couldn't be bothered with any of this. I'm just going to shut myself out, my emotions out, or I let my rage out on other people, my partner, my friends, like other people in traffic. It's so, so easy and it's so normal for us to do those kind of things, especially if if we are not that self-aware and let's just be honest, we aren't always. So this episode really just is, as I said, a permission slip for me to allow this side of myself to prove to myself that I can still channel my energy into creativity, into expressing myself, even though the only thing I want to do right now is to go sit in my couch, cover myself up, and numb myself with another TV show. And we absolutely get to do that. It's not what I want to say. It's just, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to pity myself. I want to be able to hold myself in all aspects of life, on all the days, even on the days or just in the moments where I'm like, ah, it feels like this isn't me, but it truly is. This is also me. It's just not who I am the majority of the time. And that's why it's so easy for me to try and just push it away because it doesn't feel familiar. And if we go back to how our brains are wired, like we are designed for familiarity. Our brain craves this sense of knowing who we are, what it is we're doing. Like it just wants certainty. Certainty, confirmation, familiarity. That's when our rural mind is happy. So I totally get from a logic perspective why I want to reject this part of myself. But we cannot live a life in self-protection. Like, I have to remind myself that I am all of it. I am my joy. I am my rage. I am my anger. I am my pleasure. I'm my pain. I'm my ecstasy. I am all of that. And it's so interesting how we have an assimilation with some of these aspects of self that we prefer because we think that it's better to be happy. We think it's better to be high vibe instead of just embracing that it's all a part of the human evolution and that whatever we are, whatever we are feeling is all so valid. We are supposed to feel the full range of all of our emotions. Yet, because we have this coded judgment that some emotions, feelings, states are more worthy than others, we are so prone to pushing away the things that we have deemed or gotten to understood is bad. And that's why for me it's really hard on these days. Um, I don't really buy into the whole self-pity. Um, that life is hard. And as I just said that word hard, like I felt my entire body tensing up. I felt like that's actually not my truth. I don't think that this is hard. I don't think that life is hard. The only reason I would feel that is in me rejecting, neglecting, wanting to numb parts of myself. That's when I can feel life is hard. But I'm totally in control of that. And if you'd met me 5, 10 years ago, on these days, I would have either I would have gone into that numbing zone, just saying, oh, today's just a shitty day, and hopefully it'll be better tomorrow. Or maybe I would just have put on a mask of who I knew myself to be. Either one of those two would have been my former go-tos. But in this work, in the self-development work, in getting to know myself, allowing myself to be fully expressed, I also know that the next stage for me is to really find a way of using these ebbs and flows in my emotional, mental, spiritual state. Because if I keep buying into the idea that it's okay to have bad day, hard moments, to pity myself. Over time, that is who I'm going to know myself to be, rather than sitting with the depth of the emotions of why today just feels mushy and different and like wanting to give up. We get to be the version of ourselves that we want to be, but I also know that the version of me that I want to be is this version who can hold herself in the dualities of life, even on the days where I just want to quit everything and I have no faith and no belief and no anything, because that too can be fuel to my fire. If I sit with my emotions, if I process my emotions, if I'm able to teach myself that I can create from this state as well. Not that I have to, but I can choose to. I can choose to sit this one out. I can choose to numb it out, or I can choose to use it. Really figure out how can I shift the energy around this moment. Not from a place of force, but from a place of teaching myself that there are other ways of showing up. And you want to know the crazy thing? I don't even know how long I've been talking on this podcast, but it's not long. And I already feel my energy has shifted. There's still mush inside of me. I could still sit down and cry, and I probably will. But I also feel in the pit of my stomach that there is a fire there. And that fire I would not have been able to reconnect to if I had chosen to go sit on my couch and watch TV shows the rest of the day. What would happen in that instance would be me feeling sad for myself. And by the end of the day, I would probably also get pretty damn pissed and angry and frustrated with myself that I'd spend an entire day doing things that I actually don't really take pleasure in. Yeah, life be fucking lifing. It's it's a lot to be human. Sometimes we are navigating a lot of stuff, but it's in our power, it's our choice how we are going to meet ourselves on the days where we really just want to reject ourselves more than anything. And I needed that reminder today that I have a choice, that I always have a choice, and that all parts of me is lovable, that all parts of me are worthy, and that I can shift and alternate my energy around a day, a moment, a thought, anything by truly sitting with it, not overriding, not forcing, just letting the energy flow and see where it's going to take us. Because I had no idea where this podcast, a mini episode was gonna go. I even thought like shit, it's gonna be one of those where I'm gonna sit and cry and I'm completely okay and comfortable with that if that had been the situation. But I really feel that this depleted, dense energy is starting to loosen, is starting to, it wants to do something. It doesn't just want to sit and be sad and write a pity story. It actually wants to create something, it wants to move something. And when we allow ourselves this process of sitting with the things, sitting with the emotions without judgment, without an idea of what it's going to be, without a pre-perceived idea of an expected outcome, that's when we give the energy room and space to just become what it needs to become. That's when life is flowing through us. And that's when we teach ourselves that we really can create from any state. So right now, the only thing I want to do is sit and journal, see like where where are my thoughts going to take me? What am I going to do? And I'm actually really glad that I started this podcast and this particular episode. I did not feel like going on here and sharing that I wanted to cry, to scream, to end my business, that nothing is working. But I also am so glad that I did because I just reconnected to my own fire by speaking it out, by processing it, by giving the hard, difficult, challenging, whatever word you prefer, the darkness, the depth, by giving it space. I allowed myself to be all of me, and I actually need all of me to come out to build that extraordinary life that I want for myself. So, what was the purpose of this episode? To remind myself and reminding myself, I hope I'm also reminding you that all your angles, all your sides, all your perspectives, all your personalities, all your identities are worthy. And they are there for a reason. Our emotions are the most beautiful guide that we have. I talk about that in my frequency code, frequency of emotions. And today, clearly, I needed that reminder for myself that whatever I'm feeling currently is here for a reason, to give it space, to allow it just to be and see where it takes me without my mental logic mind trying to figure out, to judge, to keep me safe, to locked up, to be locked up in the identity it knows myself to be. What a rant. I'm actually loving these totally unprepared podcast episodes because this is the real, raw, honest me. I had no agenda. I had no idea what this was gonna go. But I feel better now. So thank you for listening to this heart talk. Um, I hope you find some inspiration and a permission slip to allow all the pieces of you that you are. I hope you give yourself space to be with it all, to not say that some parts are better than others, but to just accept that it's all a part of our human experience and to live a full, happy, meaningful, extraordinary life. It means that we have to allow all those aspects of selves to take up space. So thank you for tuning in. I'm gonna go sit with myself, and I actually feel excited now for what today is gonna bring, to see what I can create from this energy.